Hey, what's good, y'all? ACS here from Georgia Sports Central and IE Sports Radio. Just real quick before we got the show started, I do want to send some condolences, shouts out, thoughts, prayers to the victims and their families and friends and the survivors of the tragic stuff that happened in New Orleans. Sad to see things like that happen. The world is a crazy place. But before I got started, I just wanted to make sure I send out thoughts and prayers to everybody and hope that the survivors have speedy recoveries. And I hope that the uh tough to deal with, right? Tough things to deal with. So just again, shouts out, thoughts and prayers to the victims of the senseless acts of violence that happened in New Orleans Wednesday morning.
What the fever on the head?
Hey. Damn, I need to clear my throat. What's good, everybody? What is good? Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. It's your boy ACS. And hey, man, make no bones, Georgia got clapped up, bro. I'm going to talk about that right off rip. Got a little bit of United news, some stuff about the Braves. Falcons basically playing their game this Sunday with their fingers crossed, right behind their backs, considering what the other game that's playing at the exact same time as theirs is. And we'll talk about the Hawks a little bit too, man. The Hawks still middle of the pack right there when it comes to record-wise over 500. But all that, but again, we all know what the main topic is. Georgia gets clapped by Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. Let's talk about it.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central from IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. This is your boy ACS. And I told y'all, man, I told you. If you've been watching the show ever since I got started here, this is episode 11. It's crazy, 11 episodes. Told y'all, man, I keep it a buck, man. I try to keep it as real as possible when I'm talking about my teams because it's you have to be real. You have to be a realist, right? When it comes to these things, your team's not always going to be successful, and sometimes your team's going to be good. Sometimes wins, losses, all those things. You got to keep it real, man. You got to keep it real. Don't lie to yourself because I guarantee you one thing: teams don't. The actual players that you cheer for aren't lying to themselves in that locker room after an L, right? So again, like I told you, right off rip, let's jump straight in, man. We got clapped, y'all. Notre Dame was the more physical team, better. A lot of mistakes, a lot of things that happened. I'm not one to make excuses when it comes to losses like this. There's a lot of there on the table. I think the biggest one out there that people are talking about as far as the game itself, it was the time off. I've never thought of that as a large issue. Of course, you see things happen if you've been watching football for a long time. But I mean, in professional football right now, we're going to see it in a couple weeks. Patrick Mahomes is about to be not playing for like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Think that dude's going to be rusty when he gets back? Right. So like the time off is like, it's a factor, but I think it's a factor only when it comes to sort of, you need to factor that into your game plan, right? Plays you call early to sort of get the team back in rhythm after being off for that long. Did it play a factor? Again, I hate to say it did, but when you see all 4 teams that had a bye go down, then you got to start considering, yeah, it might have been something there. Could have been something, not much, because again, I hate to give too much credit to that excuse of, oh, they were off, they had bye weeks and things. I mean, if you're playing hard all season to get to a certain point at the end of the season, you're playing for a bye week, bruh. You're playing for time off. That's all it is to it. If nobody starts their season like, yo, I want to win the bare minimum of games so that when we get to the playoffs, we don't have to take any time off. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. So that's why I hate the excuse of too much time off. But I will give it some consideration when it comes to all 4 teams that had a bye lost. Man, that is, and I don't know how you cure that. This is college football. This is not the NFL. This is college football. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the month of December, collegiate wise, that it's just hard to do these things, right? You got your Heisman ceremonies in there. You got your all of this kind of stuff, exams, things of that nature. And so, and also the transfer portal, which weirdly opens at the beginning of December and closes before the end of the month, which is weird. I'll talk about that at a later date. That's kind of, so the teams that play in the bowl games, they don't get the, what's up with the transfer portal for them cats, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it closes before they even play it. Everything anything that seems like it's a postseason thing for college football should happen after the national championship. I'm gonna throw that out there, and I'm sure that's not going to be the last time I mention that, and maybe not today, but I'll come back because it just does. Anything, you shouldn't be having transfer portal open up before the bowl games, bro. What are we doing anyway? So, but the time off, I don't like to use it as an excuse, man. But here, the way that if you could look at all 4 games, especially the Penn State game, man, Penn State came out fast, hot, and Boise looked a little like they'd been off for a minute. And Oregon, oh man, that's crazy. Anyway, we'll get to all of that in a minute. But the other big talking point when it came to this is for Georgia fans. This is simply a Georgia thing right here. Is Mike Bobo, man. Now, if you're a Georgia fan, you know Mike Bobo, Georgia alumni, played quarterback, right? You know what I'm saying? He was with the program, left, came back. Him and Kirby Smart are really good friends. And all season long, you hear Georgia fans calling for Bobo, right? His job or whatever. And again, that's one of those things I said that I'm not, it's just not one of those things I'm with. I'm like, I see it. After this game, y'all, I got to tell you, man, it might be about time for Mike Bobo to kick rocks in Georgia, bro. I'm sorry, Kirby. I know that's your boy. I know that's your homie. You're day one, A1 from day one. He is college football has passed him by when it comes to play calling. I'll just put it like that. See, here's the thing is with the NIL and all of that stuff that's happening right now and transfer, you're not holding on like that, right? SEC teams used to be where I'll put it like this. Mike Bobo still calls plays like the offensive line can block for 7 seconds. They cannot do that anymore. You saw that very, very openly from the rip against Notre Dame. They could not do that. So that's also going to bring me to another call that happened right before the end of the first half, which is again, man. If that shit's successful, everybody's praising Kirby for it. It wasn't, so he's getting knocked for it. It's one of those things, right? But the play calling needs to be faster. It needs to be more emotion, something different than what you're doing now. Because again, the play calling looks like it's old school shit where you're hoping that your big SEC offensive line can block for 4, 5, 6 seconds. They can't do that anymore. They can't. Not one team could do that anymore. Look at Bama. Look at all of the SEC. Nobody in SEC is doing that anymore, and a lot of it is NIL transfers. No longer are you going to see like the 5-star that you go recruit sit behind 2, 3, 5-stars. They've been talking about it all day on sports, and I've been saying this for a couple seasons, right? As far as when I said eventually even Georgia with the dominance 2 back-to-back national titles, eventually that's going to go fade a little bit because you just can't keep the talent like that. You step into some young man's living room who's a 5-star linebacker and you say, I want you to come play with us. Come play with the big boys. Come play for Bama. Come play for Georgia. Come play for LSU. Come play for Florida. And they're like, okay, that'd be cool and all, but I looked at your depth chart and there's already 3 5-stars ahead of me. When am I going to get to play? They ain't doing that no more, right? So the teams balance themselves out, and those players that were, that probably could have possibly played for some of these schools, they go to other schools who will take them real quick. Like the Ohio States, right? Who, by the way, I think right now it's Ohio State's national championship to lose. That's the best looking team I've seen from this past week's football when it came to the quarterfinal round. But anyway, so back to Bobo. I think college football has passed him by as far as play calling. You're never going to find another program in college football that's going to give cats the time that he's sort of calling plays for. You just can't do that. Right. And you see the teams who have the most success offensively. It's just not there. And everybody can see it. Right. Everybody can see it. And that leads me to also real quick, want to shout out to Carson Beck. I've been on Carson Beck's ass this entire season, as most Georgia fans have. And then what you saw last night or yesterday showed you that it ain't Carson. Like he ain't got no time back there. Now there's some poor decision making that he's had throughout the season with a lot of interceptions. That's on him. But as far as what he's the sort of clapping that Carson Beck has received this season from Georgia fans is sort of on this thing where it's like when you looked at yesterday's game and Gunnar Stockton, look, he played well. He had a couple nice passes. The play calling was not there for him. It's just not. It's just you cannot sit there and act like you're going to be given that much time to look and scan the field, especially when you have Gunnar Stockton, who they mentioned it throughout the game, is not as good on the offensive line as Carson Beck is. He just can't call out protections. He don't know to say, oh, this dude is probably coming to clap my cheeks right now. I might want to send somebody to that side to block. I might want to shift protection. If you look at the game very closely, none of that from Gunnar Stockton. No coming back in this stuff. And I didn't see any of that basically from him. And they kind of mentioned it throughout the broadcast that Kirby had said such that the kid's not as good at the offensive line as Carson Beck is. So, and all of that, in my personal opinion, comes to play calling. Again, you gotta call plays for what you got. You gotta call plays for what you got, man. I know there was an early play in the game. Parker Jones collided with the official. Inexcusable, but also, I ain't mad at the kid by any stretch. Did he take a touchdown off the board? You're damn right he did. I've seen a lot of stuff online today. People talking about, it's good. It didn't cause us. I don't think it caused us to lose because it happened early enough where Georgia should have been able to adjust off of that, but it cost us 4. 4 points came off the board because of that. We were going to be at like the 10-yard line about to move that thing. And at the time we caught Notre Dame's defense in sort of a, I'm talking about caught them in something, right? Where we might have been able to do some things with it right there at the 10-yard line leading into the end zone. So yes, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I saw the kid tweeted out, and there was a lot of people who were sort of on his wagon talking about when it came to him talking about, oh, it's okay, young man, and all this. It is. Look, I don't blame the kid at all for the L. That's on the team. But at the same time, you see how mad Kirby got too? Kirby was pissed. Get the F back, right? And the players, it just happened. The kid was excited. He saw that dude. He saw, my mind's gone now. Catch that long bomb, headed toward the end zone, and he was excited, got in the way of the ref. Inexcusable again, but that's not why we lost the game by any stretch, because that happened early enough where we could have adjusted off of that, right? So, and the play calling, or not the play calling, but the officiating in the game I thought was pretty even. I saw bad calls on both sides. So again, that's not an excuse. I saw Notre Dame get some calls that I didn't like. I saw Georgia get some calls that I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. Again, I'm a realist when I watch football, so I will admit when I see some calls that are bad. I even admitted it when I was watching the game. I was like, that's a little picky. That's a little ticky-tack right there. I mean, I appreciate it, but it's a little ticky-tack, right? So again, the calls, I'm not going to sit here and say officiating had anything to do with it. I will say that there's a couple. There's a couple that happened in the game. Not going to go to anyone in particular. I do know there was one that probably could have got pass interference. It was a very short pass on like second down in the third quarter. Defensive back had hands on the receiver, but the receiver had hands on him too as well. Very physical right there. The ball was an incomplete pass that I thought they might have could have called pass interference on Jordan, but they let him play to a certain extent when it came to that. The drops, Georgia wide receivers dropping passes, right? The big one that happened early in the first quarter, I can't really say that because again, you turn around or early in the first half, I'll say that early in the first half. But then Cash Jones catches that touchdown, which is essentially that same drive, same sort of side of the field that it was going to. So I can't look at that drop, but there were some other drops that happened that you're like, man, and that's plagued Georgia all year, right? But again, no excuses. You're in this game. You're playing against a high, a great opponent in Notre Dame. There's no excuses. You go out there and you execute. Your talent level's not where it used to be. Still got to go out there and try to execute. And I thought the drops, that's something that's fully controllable by Georgia and not by Notre Dame's defense or anything like that. When it comes to the end of the first half, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going through my notes. I wanted to make sure I got to every single point because as I was brainstorming this, what I was going to say when it came to the Georgia-Notre Dame game, it was sort of these things where I was like, I didn't want to forget to talk about anything. So, of course, that's why you make notes, right? I don't know how I feel about it because I know I mentioned this briefly just a few minutes ago. When you get to that point at the end of the first half, when Georgia got the ball back after, 6-3. Now, I'm not saying I would have knelt it. I probably would have ran a couple running plays, got up out of there. But the fact that Kirby decided to go, let's try to get this thing downfield, get a field goal, right? At least. If it had been successful, nobody would be saying anything about it right now. Nobody. Even if Georgia still lost, if they had got down there and gotten points, it would be a different conversation. But as it is, they step back to pass. I have no problem, again, with the play call in the basic element of the play call, right? Do what you do. Again, if it was successful, people be praising. The problem that I have with it, though, is that that Georgia's offensive line was not blocking up until that point. Not blocking at all pretty much the entire first half. So you knew, unless you were going to add some extra protection there, you can't drop back again. Play calling there where you think the offensive line is going to give you 6-7 seconds. They're not giving you that. Notre Dame was in the ass cheeks the whole time, bro. You can't do that play. If you're going to go, you need to add a couple extra blockers in there. Maybe just have a couple wide receivers run down the field. If they're not open, throw that ball away, live to see the next down. See what I'm saying? If the blocking had been superb the entire first half for Georgia, the score probably wouldn't have been what it was, and I would have less of a problem with the play call. But again, the blocking was not there. So you see on that play that comes strip sack. They get the ball right there, 15, 10-yard line, one play touchdown, right? And that 53 seconds or whatever, talk about, make sure I got that, 54 seconds. The 54 seconds where at Notre Dame scored 17 points. First of all, what an anomaly that's going to happen in a game. That's like some shit. Right. That's a perfect storm of good luck, good play calling, good execution, just good taking advantage of your opportunities, which was what they got given by the sack fumble. So when you look at that game, 17 points, they get the field goal to make it 6-3. We go down there, get ballsy. They strip sack, they get a touchdown. That's 10 points. And then the second half kickoff return, bro. Man, I've never been a coach in my life as far as football, right? And so I can't speak on certain things. And I know that's probably hard to get your team prepared for, man. You're stepping out of the second half of a game where they just scored 10 on you real fast. You just did that, and you're like, okay, let's just stop them here, maybe hold them, right? The defense played well in this game. I thought they did, but by the end of the game, without any support from the offense to keep their motivation up, to keep them hyped. Man, I saw it, man. I saw some of the Georgia players, man, that like sort of in the last, like once Notre Dame got that first down with the quarterback dived over and got everybody crunk. I could see it in the body language. They were already tired. They played their hearts out to keep the score what it was. And something like the backbreaker, that is the kick return in the second half. Because, special teams is a mixture of defensive players, offensive players, and things like that. Just so that happens. And then defense still came out and played hard. There's a couple good plays in there, man. I mean, damn, dude. They played as well as they could without the offense sort of having their backs, right? And so, yeah, that 17 points was insane. But going back to that last play for the first half, there's a strip sack. Again, hindsight, it's 2020. You're looking at that thing, like I have no problem with being sort of wanting to push the ball down there and get points before halftime. But when you already know that the offensive line has given you no time, you cannot do a pass play that long to develop, bro. You just can't do it. And count that with Gunnar Stockton, who is literally his first start, first college football start, first sort of playing time where he's the general from start to finish. That's kind of a bit much to ask, man. Kind of a bit much. And I understand, again, what the thing was. If it was successful, everybody be praising Kirby. It was not, so they're clapping on him. And he got in a press conference and sort of tried to defend it. And I feel him to a certain extent. Oh, by the way, Kirby, quit whining. Quit whining about what they did. If you didn't see, if it's not apparent, I sort of jump around with these things. At the end of the game, Notre Dame, again, great coaching job. Marcus Freeman, shouts out to you guys. Great coaching job, great play from all of the team. I apologize if I've forgotten to shout them out yet, but shouts out to Notre Dame. You did your thing. You did your thing yesterday. You came and handled business against a good opponent, against the SEC champions, and I fucking applaud that. So, shouts out to them. But the play where they set up to do a punt, and then they ran the punt team off and brought the field. And Kirby whining about that after. Get the whine, bro. You lost. You lost. There's no room for whining. Only thing there's room for is giving props to Notre Dame for clapping your cheeks, saying how you felt about things that went wrong in the game, and talking to them players, them seniors, all of those guys who won't be back, who's had a fucking great run with Georgia over the past 4 or 5 seasons. Some of them have been there. But when you're Georgia and you play a season like we have, 9 times we were behind at halftime. 7 times we came back and won those games. You're not going to get them all. You see that, right? You realize that at some point that thing is going to catch up to you. At some point in time, your luck's going to run out. I don't know what else to say. I've been watching football a long time, and that is always the case, right? New England Patriots dominated for 2 decades. Right now, though, the luck has run out, right? So I know I've talked about this a lot. I don't even know if I've hit every single point I wanted to. I did make notes, but it's kind of all over the place. But I will say this as a Georgia fan. I know I've run a little long talking about Georgia right now. Couple things I want to close with. This was the easiest one for me to get over. I don't know about any other Georgia fans that I've talked to. Of course, I worked there. Oh, by the way, let me mention something real quick. Put y'all on back. So I watched that game yesterday, right? And I get done with it, and what I was about to say was this was the easiest loss I think I've ever gotten over for Georgia. As a hardcore fan for decades, like this is this was easier than getting over the Alabama loss early in the season because it was Alabama and but this was easy. I sat there and contemplated. I watched the entire post game, watched the trophy celebration, watched all of that because that's what I do, right? They won. Same thing. I was at the SEC championship game a few years ago with Joe Burrow and them LSU Tigers clapped Georgia in that game. And I sat there and watched the entire post game, watched the entire trophy celebration, man. You know what I'm saying? And so like I did yesterday, and as I sat there and contemplated what happened and sort of went over in my head about the game, sort of plays that mattered and plays that didn't, and the mistakes that were made and things, and I sort of was like, man, shook my head and discussed for a bit, and I said, you know what? Let's go to next season, man. I mean, what else can you say as a Georgia fan? I mean, we've been very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. And I've always told myself if I was ever fortunate as a sports fan, and when I mean by that, I mean Red Sox, New England fans, all them Super Bowls in them couple decades, and then all of a sudden they start losing, they mad. Mad for what? You got 6 rings in 20 years. How many teams have done that? So I told myself after seeing those sort of reactions to things that like, we've been successful and I'm very happy for it. Am I satisfied with that success? By no means, no. I mean, I want more trophies, bro. What fan does it? Like, what team does it? But at the same time, I can also acknowledge that the landscape of college football has changed. And I got 2 natties back-to-back, man. 2 of these. My team got 2 of these back-to-back in the last few years, right? So there's something to be happy about. And again, that's not going to console any players in the locker room or anything of that nature. I got that. But at the same time, it was easy, man, to get over, man. And then I get to work. I work at a gym on third shift, right? A gym. I ain't gonna put the name of it out there or anything like that, but it's pretty worldwide. And great job. Love my job. Love it to death, right? I can even work out during my shift if I so choose to do so. I usually don't do that because I sweat a lot and I don't like to get all like that. But anyway, the one thing they do have though is like 20 some odd TVs in there. You know where I'm going with this. That game. The highlights for that game played 4 times an hour, every single hour I was at work last night. So I had to watch it all night. We're not allowed to change the channels on the TVs. And then at 4 a.m., let's just go ahead and play the whole game from start to finish. I mean, it was a bridge. They cut a lot of stuff out of it. But so I'm sitting there at work and I'm like, you know what? I just want to send the 2 birds to y'all right now for rubbing it in while I'm trying to forget this thing. But couple things as we move on when it comes to that. I did tweet something out earlier. I would like to see Hines Ward as part of Georgia's coaching staff. I know he's Arizona State. Georgia, and maybe Kirby just wanted to see him get something under his belt before he hired him. But Hines Ward, if you're watching, you deserve to be coaching for the Dogs, bro. Come on home. You know what I'm saying? Come on home. Shouts out to the seniors, the Georgia seniors. Now, I am going to bring this up just because I think this is a nice little gesture when it comes to sort of shouting the seniors out. And I'm going to talk, if you're just listening right now, I apologize. I will talk the names, but it's a list of the seniors, man. It's a list of the seniors from UGA and sort of what they've accomplished while they've been here. Again, when I say that we've been successful, man, there's I am sad and upset about what happened, about losing and us not reaching the national title game and doing something, getting 3 of those things, right? But at the same time, again, like I just mentioned, like we've been successful. Let's ride on that for a minute before you start getting too mad about what happened, right? But anyway, here's this. Thank you, seniors. Carson Beck, 2-time national champion, 2-time SEC champion. That bodes for the next 3 people. Warren Brinson, Chaz Chambliss, shouts out Dylan Everett, Dan Jackson, Dominic Lovett, SEC champion, Smile London, 2-time national champion, Tate Rutledge, Arian Smith, Nazir Stackhouse, Malachi Starks, Xavier Truss, Jalen Walker, national champion, 2-time SEC champion, Buckets Award winner, and Michael Williams, national champion, 2-time SEC champion. This senior class for Georgia has had the winningest in program history. I think there's only like 5 losses in that thing. But yeah, I just want to bring that up. Shouts out to the seniors. Season's over with, where they're going to move on to bigger and better things. A lot of them, I don't like Jalen Walker and a couple more of those cats. You'll be seeing them playing on Sundays in the future here. And one last thing, man. And I know I mentioned a little bit about this earlier. Carson Beck got a lot of hate this season from Georgia fans, and rightfully so. There was a lot of bad decisions when it came to throwing picks and things of that nature. But when you saw what happened yesterday, and a lot of sort of glaring things were put on display because the quarterback change helped us see that, right? Gunnar Stockton, again, first start, young kid, hadn't really had that much experience. He stepped out there, and of course, you knew he was going to have a little bit of trouble, right? A little bit of trouble. The issues that have plagued our team this entire season didn't help that young kid out. Offensive line play dog. Just not there no more. Just not there like it used to be. Carson Beck didn't deserve what he got. Of course, I'm not going to say he was not a problem at all. He did have, again, some bad decisions, but that's going to happen, right? Young kids playing college football at a very high competitive level. But nothing but success for that kid, man. Carson Beck, shouts out to you. I hope your future, no matter what you decide to do, I hope your success finds you. And you weren't deserving of the hate you've gotten this year when it comes to Georgia. Just considering what I saw last night was like the whole team is a problem. Not just Carson Beck and not just these pieces that some people want to sort of jump on or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, that's my thoughts, man. My thoughts. Again, Notre Dame clapped us up yesterday. The score was 23-10. I do not think it was as close as the score. It was not a 13-point game. I put it more along the lines of a 16 to 20-point game or something like that. Because at the end of the game, when it came time for Notre Dame to cancel us, they canceled us big time. Got them some first down, dove down the field, knelt that thing out, and the rest is history, right? So shouts out to them, man. Once again, shouts out to Notre Dame, champions of the Sugar Bowl, moving on to face Penn State. And with that being said, I think Notre Dame wins that game. I think that Ohio State wins, and I think that I think Ohio State. I think it's Ohio State's national championship to lose. So you'll see me again before the national title game, but I think it is. So we'll see what happens with these semifinal games, and then you come back and get my thoughts on those in a second. Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick break. When I get back, we're going to jump into some other things, probably talk about the Falcons a little bit, and probably sort of jump on some United stuff and things of that nature. But anyway, we'll be back in just a second. You're watching Georgia Sports Central from IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at @sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central from IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. And what's good, everybody? Hey, again, Georgia, exhausting, Georgia, right? I didn't know how long I would go on with that. Taryn, what's good? Hope, hey, man, appreciate you, dude. Hey, I'm gonna talk about them in a second. Yeah, it's wild to see. Again, I say this again. The Falcons gonna be playing the whole time because they play at the same time. They're gonna be playing the whole entire game with their fingers crossed. That's crazy. They got to worry about winning and also score watching, which is a little bit insane. Anyway, real quick. Let's jump to Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Sort of right quick. They lost 35-27 to Vanderbilt in the Birmingham Bowl game right quick. I'll pull up a couple of stats when it comes to Georgia Tech. Obviously, ACC standings at 7-6. The Tech ends the season 6th in the ACC with a 5-3 ACC record. But real quick, you know what's crazy? And this is the same thing that sort of was with Georgia. I pulled up a stat recently where Georgia was they led the nation in sort of the college football like viewership, right? The team most watched in the nation this season was Georgia. Right. And in Georgia Tech out of the ACC, they were the most watched team in the ACC. The most viewers per game in the ACC belongs to Georgia Tech, man. So, hey, man, shouts out to Georgia teams. But again, Georgia 35-27 to Vanderbilt in the Birmingham Bowl. Look at a couple of stats. I mean, the game was pretty close for a long time, and then it kind of got wide right there. Haynes King, quarterback for Georgia Tech, 25-33, 204 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Jamal Haynes, rushing yards, 17 carries, 36 yards, no touchdowns. Malik Rutherford, 1 carry, 29 yards. Vanderbilt, man, Pavia, man, 160 yards, 3 touchdowns. He played pretty well. Diego Pavia is a wild player, man. Vanderbilt has a dude on him. Again, Haynes King had 11 carries for 9 yards, right? That's because he's back there getting sacked up a little bit. Georgia Tech receiving Abdul Jana, 3 receptions for 34 yards. Long of 13. So, if you look at the let's see, go to recap right here. Sort of, Vanderbilt 7 points early, only score in the first quarter. Then you see Georgia Tech put up 10 in the second, and Vanderbilt try to match it and get back up on them. 7 points in the second quarter, at the halftime, 14-10 lead. And then they both scored 14 in the fourth quarter, but it was the 7 points in the third quarter that Vanderbilt scored over the 3 for Georgia Tech. That was sort of the difference maker in that game, added with the other 3 that came from earlier in the game. That sort of made the difference, man, when it came to that. So, look, let's see, in Birmingham Bowl, Vanderbilt first postseason bowl game win in 11 years. So, yeah, man, Vanderbilt, shouts out to them over Georgia Tech. In the Birmingham Bowl. We'll get more information on that as the postseason unravels, or not to say unravels, but like goes on for Georgia Tech. So to talk about what kind of developments we might see with that program going forward. Hey, what up, Mike? Hey, what's good, bro? Hey, man. Hey, I'll talk about it. Hey, catch me on Insta Replay, man. Catch me on Insta Replay. Y'all got a large, massive game Sunday night, man. I will be watching. That's hey, good to see you, man. Glad you stopped through, man. Glad to see you stop through, bro. Glad to see you stop through. But yeah, no, Georgia Tech, again, lost to Vanderbilt. So we'll see what happens in the offseason. More stuff comes out when it comes to that. But let's move on to them Falcons, man. Let's move on to them Falcons, bro. Let me tell you something, man. I've been saying it this whole episode, this whole show, and I've said it the past couple of days. They are sort of they're playing the game with their fingers crossed. So if you don't know what the stakes are here, the Atlanta Falcons are playing the Carolina Panthers Sunday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern time. They need to win, and they also need Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are also playing at 1:00 p.m. on Sunday Eastern time against the New Orleans Saints, to lose. So the Bucs just have to win, and they're in the playoffs. They get the 4 seed. It's a wrap. NFC South done. Falcons out of the playoffs. The Falcons have to win and also have the Bucs lose. So imagine trying to play a game that you need to win, that you need to be concentrating on, that you need to be putting all of your focus in, right? Imagine that game. But you also got to watch the scoreboard. You also got to be like, yo, Yo, are the Saints, what y'all doing? Yo, can y'all give us one here? Right? So that's not the first time we've seen this kind of scenario play out in sports, but this is very intriguing as somebody who lives in Georgia and somebody, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's going to be a thing that is going to be very nerve-wracking for the players, because how do you concentrate on that while also trying? And I got what they're going to say pregame and everything like that. No, we're just going to concentrate on what we can control. And that's what they should do and what they should be concentrating on. But it's hard. It's going to be hard not to be watching that scoreboard. It's going to be hard because the scoreboard is they're going to be popping up the scores every 2 or 3 seconds. If the score pops up and Tampa Bay's winning, the Carolina Panthers fans are probably going to give them some shit about it. So how did we get here, right? How did we get to this position? Well, the Falcons lost 24-30 to the Washington Commanders in overtime in D.C. last weekend. Didn't get to do my show on the regular normal time that I do it on Wednesdays because of what happened with the game. And by the way, if you missed my message, shouts and thoughts and prayers to the victims, families and friends, to everybody that was affected by the senseless acts of terrorism in New Orleans Wednesday morning. My thoughts and prayers with y'all, man. Thoughts and prayers. But the game had to be moved, so we sort of came to the decision, man, about sort of moving my Wednesday show, which is Wednesday at 7 p.m. If you didn't know, by the way. Also, by the way, let me throw something up there. Yeah. Give y'all some more ACS. If you want to find me on X, 2279 ACS with an _. Instagram threads, Bruce Scott Vero at 2279 ACS. PlayStation Network, if you like to get on Call of Duty and stuff, bro. That's why I'll be on there playing. And YouTube right there, my regular YouTube channel. Also, Instant Replay is another sports show I do on Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, where I just talk about the entire league, not just specific to 1 or 2 teams, but the entire NFL and college football, which is wrapping up soon. So show's about to hit it. But yes, that's how we got here. The Atlanta Falcons, literally, they lost to the Commanders in overtime. Let me get that game up here real quick. Lost to the Commanders in overtime, man. If they would have gotten that one, then it would have been an easy clinch for them this weekend. But since they didn't, now we're left with the fact that we got to win and also hope that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but the Falcons also hope that they win and that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't. And put it in. Look at the game, 19-35, 223 yards from Penix. Played good. Thought he played good, pretty well. Sacks 2 times for 12 yards. He had 1 pick in the game. Jaden Daniels, 24 for 36, 227 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also had a pick. He got sacked 5 times for 31 yards. Atlanta defense was in there on him pretty good. Bijan had 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels, he's the one who had went off on his feet this time with 127 yards, 16 carries. Long for 25, no touchdowns. But again, the Falcons had it. It was right there in their grasp. They would have won this game. It would have been a very simple thing to do this weekend. But instead, they made it hard on themselves by losing that game. So, and then when they get to overtime, the Falcons lose the coin toss. They don't even get an opportunity, which, you know what I'm saying? Right? That makes it just that a little bit worse, right? When you talk about an overtime loss, when you didn't even get a chance to sort of kick a field goal, move the ball downfield. Penix didn't get a chance to get his first sort of overtime experience NFL-wise. So, yeah, man, crazy things. So, again, going back to this week's game. Falcons play the Panthers this week, right? Big game. For the Falcons because they need to win this game, but also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Saints, who aren't playing anybody, who are down to like Spencer Rattler, who are down to like all these. Alvin Kamara probably won't play. Look, man, the Bucs are not. They are a formidable team, and if Mitchell, if you're still watching, that's the crazy thing about y'all. You gotta. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Y'all, what y'all got to take care of, man. I'm sure I don't have to tell it because if one of the only 2 L's that you guys have had on your resume this year came to the Bucs. You hate to lose against the Vikings and have to head to Tampa Bay for the first round of the playoffs with Baker throwing like 5 touchdowns a game. That shit's insane. It's insane. So, like, I fully expect Tampa Bay. And also, if getting to the playoffs wasn't enough for Tampa Bay, if they weren't enough for Tampa Bay, Mike Williams needs like 85 yards to get to the 9th, or no, what is it? It's 10 consecutive seasons of 1,000 yards or more, or 9 or something like that. And Baker has said he's getting those. So that's another thing on top of we need to win this so we can get to the playoffs. They also want their boy Mike Evans to get 1,000 yards. I don't see Tampa Bay losing this game. I'm sorry to say this just to Falcons fans. This is going to be a rough one, but it can happen. So I'm sure Falcons fans, I'm not trying to say give up hope because, stranger things have taken place in football. Trust me on that one. If you've been watching for any amount of time, any amount of years, you know that is a big time. Stranger things have happened. So, and they need the Bucs to lose. They need the Bucs to lose. The Falcons need to win to get in the postseason. And then no matter what happens, no matter how it turns out, I think Falcons fans are going to be pretty excited. What I've seen from Penix has been pretty decent thus far. Imagine a whole offseason where they're allowed to train with him, scheme up plays for him, sort of come up with stuff. And another thing, don't forget, what they're going to do with Kirk Cousins, bro. What they're going to do with Kirk Cousins, they don't pay them all that money. And it doesn't look like – I can't see them going back to Cousins after the season is over with, right? You just can't do that. Cousins is probably going to move on. But who's going to take that deal? Who's going to take that trade, owing all of that money to Kirk's second Cousins, bro? Like, I just can't see it, man. I just can't see it. All right, we're going to wrap it up in a second. You listen to Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. Check out some of the other talent we got here on the network, and I'll be right back in just a second.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernick, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Everybody, this is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. Let's get to a couple things as we sort of wind down the show right here. Talk about Atlanta United. We got our date for the first season game, which starts 7:30 p.m. against damn, I had this shit. Against Montreal Football Club. Yeah, against CF Montreal. It's February 22nd at 7:30 p.m. for the Atlanta United. Again, like I said, I'm not the biggest soccer guy, but I will inform myself so that when I talk about the United on here, I don't sound like a total idiot. I apologize in advance, but I'm learning, right? As you try to cover all things sports for one market, it's kind of like that. But anyway, I think I mentioned it last week that they named Ronnie Delia as the head coach. So yeah, first game has been put up here again, February 22nd, 7:30 p.m. against CF Montreal. So there's that. That's coming up. Also, let's talk about a little bit of Brave stuff out here real quick. As move on. Not much. I will say this. Braves preseason got a couple spring training games that done popped up. First of all, on February 22nd against the Minnesota Twins, 1:05 p.m. February 23rd at 1:05 p.m. taking on the Tampa Bay Devil Rays and the Baltimore Orioles at the February 24th at 1:05 p.m. And speaking of the Orioles, I just want to say real quick shout out to our boy Charlie Charlie Morton from the Braves. Obviously, bring this up real quick. Just a quick shout out, Charlie Morton. He plays for the Orioles, left the Braves. Thank you. He'll always be a Brave in my mind too, as well. So yeah, Charlie Morton gone. I think I've always talked about stuff when it comes to this. And welcome to the. It's always thing on behalf of Braves Country. Spend some money so we don't suck. Yeah, this is when it comes to Braves. Real quick, as I go through these things, I think the feeling is the sentiments are mutual with hardcore Braves fans right now. I'm really gonna miss watching that 50 guy. So any good news, meaning relevant additions to the roster? Yeah, there's nothing when it comes to the Braves right now that we're looking at, right? It says on behalf of Braves Country, do something, Anthopoulos, and I totally agree with that. Get us some. We haven't heard anything. And so, like I said, man, Forever a Brave. They said he was washed, and we proved them wrong. So yeah, man, it's a lot of players that they said was washed. Remember, Chris Sale thought he was washed too, man, and then look what happened when he came to the Braves, right? Last season, right? Cy Young and all of those types of deals and things. All right, let's wind it down, y'all. Let's wind it down. You know how I finish the show every time. Talk about the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks playing some good basketball right now. Obviously, 18-16, 1.5 games back, sort of tied with Miami, behind Orlando. Both of them on a one-game losing streak. Our last two games, 136, 107 win over the Raptors. And then just a couple nights ago, 139, 120 L to the Nuggets. Jokic was off the chain. That if you watch that game, just said that there's not much you can do with that when that dude's on point. So, yeah, he has a triple-double as Nuggets roll past Hawks, 139, 120 for their third straight win for the Nuggets. As far as leaders, offensively, Trae Young points per game, 22.3, assists per game, 12.0. There's a lot of things out there. If you just want to Google assist and Trae Young, you're going to find out he has more over the last, since he's been in the league, he has way more than anybody else, right? So assist leader, I like to see him toss that thing around, which is nice. The next game they play is against the Lakers tonight, 10:30 p.m. If you're a Hawks fan, look, get out there, show them some love, right? Get out there, show them some love when it comes to All-Star game voting. They ain't looking too good. Field goal percentage, Clint Capella still leads the team at 57.8. Team stats, again, I go over this, 117.9 points per game, 45.8 rebounds per game, and 29.9 assists per game, right? Injuries, Larry Nance Jr. is still out. Jalen Johnson is day-to-day, and Cody Zeller out. Next game tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. Take a look back at this last game. As you can look at this standings right here. Where am I at? Yeah, triple-double Jokic. Yeah. You know how Jokic be doing, man. Let's see. Where is... That makes no sense to me right there, what I'm looking at, but... Yeah, so you got Richard with 13 points, Capella with 4, 30 for Trae Young, 9 for Garrison Matthews, Dyson Daniels 9, obviously DeAndre Hunter, Ngakoue, got some 9 points, 20 for Hunter off the bench, 10 for Roddy. But when it comes to the Nuggets, you already know Michael Porter Jr. Those guys were just out there balling, right? And then you got Jokic out there, who's 3-time NBA MVP, might be moving for his fourth. All of those things happen. And again, the next game for the Atlanta Hawks is tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, because they're on the West Coast playing against the Lakers. So if you're a Lakers fan, I got one of the best homies is a Lakers fan, so I'm sure he'll be taking a look at that game, as will I, if I do get a chance to put eyes on it, just because got some things going on tonight. But anyway, hey, so that's the show, you guys. Again, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my dogs, y'all. Shouts out to my Georgia Bulldogs. This season has been one that has been extremely up and down. I can't even lie to y'all. It's been crazy. Got a lot of tough, close games. And look, strength of schedule was number one. Not going to use that as an excuse, but I'm just saying, reiterating that. So that's that we pretty much sort of got beat up all season, had some injuries out there, and then Carson Beck goes down in the SEC championship game against Texas. And then there you have it. Lost against Alabama again this season. Ole Miss got us. Ole Miss, nice defense. They put a whooping yesterday. Damn, who they play. I can't remember who they played yesterday, but I looked up at the score and it was like 52 to something. I was like, damn, out here clapping chisels, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, again, Georgia, good season, man. Not what you like to see come from Georgia, especially with recent history. But I'm one of those people who's not going to be mad, man. I'm not upset. Of course, that shit hurts to see, but at the same time, 2 natties, man. We just got recently, man. How many teams could say that, man? How many teams right now could say that they've gotten those in the past 3 or 4 years? So, you know what? It is what it is. Let's see what Georgia does in the offseason. Hopefully they can adapt to the new landscape of college football. Again, I say it again, man. You for the longest time, these teams in the SEC were just able to have like 5-star players 5 deep on your bench, bruh. 5 deep per position, right? No, you no longer have that. These players will no longer sit the bench and wait and get 1 year for the NFL teams to get eyes on them. They're going to go to where they're going to get seen. They're going to go to where they're going to get playing time. So that, of course, that's what happens, man. And so I can't wait for that to sort of realize itself out over all conferences and not just the SEC, because I think that's going to change over the next few years. Like whoever wins the title this year, the national title, I do not think you winning that shit again the next season. You ain't winning that shit again the next season after that, because some players from the national championship winning team who know that the person in front of them isn't leaving, they're going to want to go to where they get exposure. They're going to go where they get playing time. So I see the dynasties in college football are on their way out, and I guess I have no choice but to be here for it, right? You have no choice if you're a college football fan, a Georgia fan, Alabama, any fan of a team in the SEC or just the SEC fan in general. You got to accept that. It's not going to be that way anymore, man. It's not going to be that way anymore. All it takes is for one good, decent college football team to sort of pick up like some great talent from these picks from these other teams that are giving them the opportunity to play, and then now they're on top, right? They're on top. So, it's a slippery slope. But anyway, I'm about to go on another rant talking about players leaving and things of that nature. did I get my picks? I think Texas is going to win, and I think Ohio State's going to win. I think we have a Texas, Ohio. No, not Texas. My bad. Not Texas. I meant Notre Dame. I think it's going to be Notre Dame, Ohio State in the national title game, and I think it's Ohio State's national title to lose. They're just playing very, very well. They were the most impressive team to me out of this entire quarterfinal round. And so shouts out Notre Dame again. Shouts out, y'all came in there, y'all handled the business, y'all heard all the talk all week. Marcus Freeman coached a fantastic game, and you guys deserve to be playing in the next round. You really do. So shouts out to you guys, and shouts out to Larry B. Shouts out to everybody at IE Sports Radio. You have been watching Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. See y'all.
What does he want on